Okay, so welcome back to this course. So now in this video, I want to display my currently logged in user in the header here, because if user is logged in, then don't have to display the I don't want to display the login button because the user is already logged in. So let's do that. And also I want to move my card to the left side of the button. So I go back to my VS Code and let's close all these, and I go to the layout and then the header. And let's just bring in this cart right here, and let's check it out. So now it is fine. Alright, so now first of all I have to bring in the user, because we know that we have our user in this state because it is now logged in. Okay, this user. So what I do is I simply go back to my VS Code and simply type here first of all fragment. Let's bring in our use dispatch. So import use dispatch and use selector from the React Redux, and then also we have to bring in the use alert. So import use alert from the React alert. Okay, so I'll bring in the alert. Alright, so now here first of all I set the const alert is equal to use alert, and then const dispatch is equal to use dispatch, and then let's first of all bring in const the user and loading from the use selector from state.auth. We have to bring in the user and then the loading, and then I simply go down here. I have to display the user. Let's also wrap this cart in a link, okay, because this is also applicable, because if the user want to go to cart, then we also have to do that. So go to /cart. We don't have cart yet, but I want to add it now. So I also give it style, that is text decoration to none. Okay, and then we have here our closing link tag. Just quickly copy it and paste it here. Simply save it. So use alert is not defined. Use alert. Okay. So now if I go back, now this card is clickable. Alright. And now in here I simply check that if the user exists. Okay. If the user exists, this means that the user is logged in. Okay. Else user is not logged in, then I simply have to type here that make sure to also check that if not loading. Okay, because maybe it takes some time to load the user, so we will also check that, make sure that if user is not loading, then we simply have to display the login. Okay, simply paste it here. So if not loading, because again I tell you that, for example, if user is loading, loading is true, so we simply make sure that if there is not loading, then we simply have to display the login. Alright, but if user exists, then we have to display the user. So I simply put in here the div tag with class of margin left of 4 and class of drop down. Okay, and then class of d-inline. Okay, so these are already defined in my CSS file, and in that I'm going to create here link. So link that will go to not nowhere. So I put here what is happening. Okay, so link to this, and then class name, let's simply type here btn drop down toggle text white to make the text white, and then this is type is button, and then id id is drop down menu button. Alright, then data toggle data dash toggle, that is going to be the drop down. Okay, and then the area dash has pop up, definitely it has pop up, so I set it to true. Okay, and then the area expanded to false. Okay, then I simply close this, and in the link I have to define my first of all I want to display the image of the currently logged in user, so I type here figure, let's give it a class of avatar, and let's also give class of avatar dash nav, just to design it. These classes are present in my CSS file, and in the avatar I simply put in here the image. So the source is user.avatar. Now we have to make sure that if user.avatar exists, then user.avatar.url. Okay, and then in the art I will simply type here the user exists, then user.name, and then let's put it to the new line. You also have to give it class, so class name is going to be rounded circle to make it a round image. This is also present in my app.css file, the design. And after that we have to display the name of the user, so I'm going to type here the span, so that will be user.name. Okay, so now if I simply save it just to check it out, so unexpected use of name, oh that is .name. Simply save it and go back to here. You will see that we get here the image of John and then the name of the John, right? So I simply go back, and after displaying the image and the name, we also have to display the drop down menu. Alright, so what I do is I simply type here after this link, I have to create the drop down menu, so div dot drop down dash menu. Okay, and we also have to give here the area labeled by the drop down menu button, this one. So we have to connect it, and then in the div I will simply put in here my first option. Let me put here the link. Okay, so link, and link contains the class name of drop down dash item. Okay, and then also make it text danger, because this is logout option, so text danger, and then you have to go to slash, because we are logging out, and then let's type here the logout. Okay, so log out, so we save it, and now if I go back and reload it, and if I click on it, you will see here the logout option. Alright, if we have to go back, this is actually this one. Simply save it. Now if I go back and if I click on it now, so we get here our first option, that is logout. Alright, and now let's add our other options. So we check that. Now I only want to display the dashboard option to admins, okay, because a normal user cannot go to the admin. So I simply check that if user exists and user.role is not equal to admin, this means that he is not admin, then if the user is not admin, then I simply have to display here the link that has class name of drop down item, okay, and then it will go to the orders. So orders slash me. This is the first option of the orders. If the user is not admin, it is a normal user, then we have to display here the orders, okay, and if it is admin, then I simply have to copy this from here. So copy, put it here, then it will go to the dashboard. So dashboard link is okay, and now if I simply press Ctrl S, go back, and you can see that now we have orders here because this user is like not admin. All right, so now let's go back and add our third option, that is the, let's copy paste this one, that is for every user, that is the profile, okay, so that is profile and it will go to /me. So save it. Now if I go back, we will see here we have our options here, so orders, profile and logout. So we have now successfully displayed our user in the header. I hope that you understand. It is quite simple, just we have to use the HTML. First of all, check that if user exists, then we have to display this, and if not exist, if it doesn't exist, then I have to make sure that it is not loading. Make sure that user is not loading, then I have to display the login button. But if it is logged in, then we simply have to first of all display the image of the user, then the name, and then they have to display the drop down menu. Okay, so this drop down menu button and this is connected here. I hope that you know the basics like this. And then we have checked that if the user is not admin, then we have to display the orders option, and if it is admin, then we have to display the dashboard option, because I cannot display the dashboard option to the non-admins. And then simply the profile option and the logout option. Okay, I hope that you understand. So in my next video, I first of all want to handle this logout, because I definitely want to show you the dashboard here for the admins, but right now I cannot, because I cannot log out from this account. So in my next video, I will log out and log in with my second account. Okay, so I will see you in the next video.